So Ricky, I feel like we spoke recently about how we wanted to pick up as many points as we could in the end of the season, and great comeback the last 10 minutes there. The boys not giving up on the 3 points.
Yeah, I was just chatting to the guys, some of the owners that were across there, and you've got to compliment the guys and how much of an honest group of boys they are. They just kept going. They knew they were playing really poorly. I mean, the first 20 minutes, Archie had to, really dig himself out of a situation, and that's going to be part of his learning and himself, developing as a young player. Made a mistake, he scored on goal, tried to rectify it, etc. But in fairness to him, he came on to a game and he got through it, so well done for him. So we couldn't have got off to a worse first 20 minutes. I felt like we were just miles off it for whatever reason. I don't think it's not a bad attitude. I think these things happen, but I want us to be so much better than that, going forward into next season, which I spoke about in the changing room. But full credit to them, I always know when it's a tight game. I'm like, we've got a chance here. No matter how bad we're playing or what the situation is, we'll get a chance. We'll do something. I think we only really had 4 chances in the game and scored 3. So for that end, I'm happy with that, obviously.
I think it's testament as well that it feels like pretty much every game we've been in this season for the most part in the league has been tight, it's been close, and just shows if you get to the end of the game you can win it.
Yeah, exactly. I think, maybe don't quote me on it, but me and Dorian were talking, I think we've got the 3rd best defensive record. I think we'll finish on +4 if you take away, the Celtic game, which was a wee bit of an anomaly game at the start of the year, playing players that are now away, and no disrespect to them, but we didn't know our team at that point. We would probably have the best defensive record, and it's testament to the guy, because guys, we've worked so hard on it. But listen, I'm happy with that today, and probably to go back to your original question, I think the points have been really important for us to get to 45 points +4 goal difference. We're not celebrating, we're not jumping, off a roof, but we're happy with that considering where we were in the past. So it gives us something to really build on.
Yeah, it's quite difficult obviously to judge because so many players left from previous seasons if you're looking at a linear way, but how proud are you of this team from where they came from the start of the season, pulling it together pretty close to that first game of the year to where we are now and looking into next season?
Immensely proud of them, because they were a group of boys that we kind of cobbled them together. They were like coming at, some of them were, a lot of them were coming in on trial, and there was gambles, it was unknown, we had to go with instinctive decisions on them to say, right, no, we think you're going to do it for us. But what happened with the majority of the ones that came in, they all needed time, with the exception of a John and even Christian has developed into a good player this year. But when he came, he was different to what he is now. The certainties in the team were really just Big Bernie, Greg Stewart to a certain degree, but he'd missed a lot of football the years before, John Guthrie, and Ross McNeil really, and we would get for Cammy also as well, and then other ones were going to be a big year for them. Hopefully we're going to come in and do really, really well. And it's worked its own way, it's worked its own course this year, and I think we've developed the group into a decent side, and we want to then go and kick on. But I'm proud of them. They're a brilliant group to work with, really and truly a brilliant group to work with.
And of course it's not the end of the season yet, got to keep the focus. Cup semi-final next week and hopefully a final to follow as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, 100% right. I think it's important to recognise it as the end of the league season, but we need to keep our focus, and that will suit them down to the ground really well. We want to finish the season off on a high by winning the cup.
And I will just finish off by asking as well, because I feel like I need to, just the progression the club's obviously had over years, but obviously this season as well. And today we're seeing owners at the game coming from the USA, Liverpool, all over the place, coming up to follow the team.
Yeah. Listen, the perception, I always work hard. I seem to always need to work hard to explain what Caledonian Braves is all about, because maybe from the outside, and if they're not on social media, or if they don't know too much about the Lowland League, or if they don't know too much about the history of the club, I find I'm always working really hard to explain what the club's about. It's unbelievable what we've done. Nobody else is doing that, and certainly not in the Lowland League or anywhere in part-time football. At the top level, it's high-end business stuff that goes on up there. But at our level of football, we want to grow the club. We want it to mean something to people. It certainly means a lot to me. It certainly means a lot to Chris and the guys who I came across from America is genuinely incredible. It's like, got to pinch myself sometimes to see that. But the club needs to move on. So I feel we've got a really good backing from all around the globe. I think we're starting to get a good local community to support us as well, and that's still to grow. But the ground needs to be better. The communication, the partnership with the local authority needs to be better, the place needs to look a bit tidier, and that needs to happen with the evolution of the club. So listen, I'm excited about the future, but it needs to be realised now, because I feel we're in a good place on the park to do that, and I think we're in a good place off the park in terms of, you know, our investment model, but I'd like some of the basic things to be done a wee bit better.
Thanks, Tim. Ricky.
All right.
Cheers.